Oh, this is so fun. Come join us.
Next, I'd like to call upon Dan Briscoe, who's the founder and general manager of Aurora Basketball.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. As I was introduced, my name is Dan Briscoe, and I'm very pleased to be here. I'm one of the two founders of Aurora Basketball Club. We have been doing minor basketball programs in Fort McMurray for 3 years, just finishing our third year here. We started in January of 2015, and we grew from grassroots. So we're a startup club, and I'm an entrepreneur, so I've been growing a small business for these last 3 years. It's been challenging, especially 2016. I'll talk for a few minutes about the fire and how it affected us and our kids. But to date, we now serve about 400 youth in our community in basketball programming. And my staff team with me, Gross Nicole and Rachel Ivy, and some of our volunteers. And we're just excited to be here for this day. It's an important day. I'll be honest, I actually didn't really know about it until I got a phone call from Beverly, and she invited me to speak. But it's an important day, and like Mr. Yao said, our kids are our future leaders, and we have to honor them, and we have to build into them and pour into them as community leaders ourselves, and in a variety of aspects. So our mission at Aurora Basketball is to foster a premier basketball community in Northern Alberta while promoting a fun and competitive environment that develops hard-working athletes for sport and for life. I consider myself one of the most privileged human beings to ever walk planet Earth. I'm a Caucasian male who grew up in the 21st century, and my hometown is Kelowna, British Columbia, one of the most beautiful and most desired places to live in our country. And I was blessed with two great parents who provided dozens of activities for myself and my three sisters. And with that type of upbringing, I find you can have one of two things. Kids can get very self-absorbed and privileged, or like my parents taught us, you can be very community-minded and want to give back when I'm an adult. So now doing what I do and being able to provide programming to kids, it's my life mission. I want to be able to provide many opportunities for kids to play. Basketball is my sport, but for all of us who are youth leaders in the community, we all have a part to play in giving back to the type of upbringing that I had, the type of privilege that I had. I'd like to share one of the best testimonies from a dad in our program that I actually just received on Facebook last week. And we get testimonials sometimes of kids who were very shy, and then they play basketball for a season, and they kind of grow out of their shell. But this, I'll be honest, brought me to tears because of the emotional impact. And this will tie into the fire from last year. So for the sake of security, I won't say the kid's name or the parent's name. So it says, "Hi Dan, I would like to personally thank you for bringing basketball into Fort McMurray. My son has learned leadership, sportsmanship, and teamwork through Aurora Basketball Academy. I myself was a former baller and coach. I have been training my son since he was 4 years old. Iron Man, as I fondly call him, does his daily workouts. I used to train him personally. Sadly, I lost my job at CNRL after last year's fire. I now work in Ontario and I come home only every December for a Christmas visit. It is my brother-in-law who takes my son to the games. When I left for Ontario, my son compensated the loneliness of being away from his dad by practicing his dribbling techniques in the garage ridiculously. I taught him how to shoot on a standard size hoop since he was aged 5. Nowadays, I train him online. The game is our way of keeping our bond strong and our way of coping with the sadness of being apart. I can only see my son in action through the videos sent to me by his aunt and uncle. The Aurora Basketball Academy has brought the distance between me and my son closer. On behalf of my wife and my sons, I thank you for doing such a good job for the Fort McMurray community. And this boy is 8 years old. He's in grade 3. We have programs that start at age 3 with Aurora Basketball. We just launched our toddler program in September. And that type of story just reminds me and my staff why we do what we do. We don't just do it because it's a job or it's something that you have to do every day. We do it because it creates real impact and it creates real purpose and meaning with families in our community. And that story is just one of hundreds of families that were affected by the Fort McMurray fire. Dad loses his job at CNRL, has to go to Ontario and get a different job, and has to be away from his kids. How many stories do we know that are similar and tragic? So I'll share briefly of our experience. I know I'm already at 6 minutes. So we had just started the spring season of basketball in May of 2016 when the fire hit. And we were relocated to Edmonton. Our club shut down. We had to refund all our fees, and I was basically out of work for 3 months. But what we realized was we had an opportunity to either come back and I could do something else. We were just small at that point and growing. But I realized, the kids needed normalcy, like we've talked about. The kids needed programming back. And in Edmonton, we got a bunch of free gym space, and we did about 4 free clinics for Fort McMurray families in Edmonton in May. And we had a handful of kids come out, and just parents were so grateful that we even did that, just a small thing for a handful of families in Edmonton. But that made me think, I gotta come back in the summer and restart this, because we do serve hundreds of families, hundreds of kids, and so we were able to do that. We fought through our adversities, and we came back, and it's been kind of a cool thing to see the rebuild and see how our club is rebuilt and our families are rebuilt. But every 3 months our club shifts. We have new families coming and going all the time. But that's about all the time I have about the fire. But I'll leave you guys with this. How many people in here directly work with an organization that serves youth? That's about 70% of the room. So we all do different things. I'm a basketball coach. I like to push kids, discipline kids, yell at them. Okay? I love it. But we all serve youth in different ways. And what if all of you community leaders went back to your organizations and inspired your staff team to love kids even more? Every single day to go and pour yourself into kids, to love them, to respect them, to empower them. What if you and I and my team, every single day, made a conscious effort to tell a kid that he's special, he's important, and he's valued and honored? That kid is going to remember that adult telling him that. That kid is going to feel respected. They get enough bullying and they get enough negative stuff in their schools, and sorry if there's school teachers in here, we respect what you do. But what if we were the ones that came in and gave positive things in their life? It's another thing that I hated for McMurray that I hear all the time is how so many kids get neglected at home with mom and dad are on shift, and it's just a tough life for some kids. But it's up to you and I and our organizations locally to be the positive light and positive change. So thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to serving this community with you.